I want to be rehomed.
Me too.
That's a great way to start this off too, Tony. Sometimes we want to be rehomed. What about the humans?
Right.
Good evening, everybody. You know who it is. It's the three wise pet pros. We missed you last week. Okay, you missed us. Sorry. We are sorry that we weren't here, but we're not sorry because you never want to be, things happen as they should. But we missed you, and we hope that you missed us too. Um, Here at the Three Wise Pet Pros, our whole mission is to spread the love of animals, learn about new and exciting ways to help them and give them a great life as they live with us through this whole crazy thing. Um, so we educate, but we also receive education from our followers who are super intelligent in all things animals. So the three wise pet pros are made up of us three gems: Dr. Tanera, holistic veterinary entrepreneur. We've got Vet Tech Tony, holistic veterinary technician and entrepreneur as well. And we've got Miss Nicole, who is a she is a teacher, a dog boarding specialist, and breeding enthusiast. And
Like it. I love it.
that's what we're doing today. So, a topic for tonight is a really fun one, and it's fun because I think it's one that we and our audience are going to have some good thoughts on. So get your fingers ready, um, audience, and we're going to be talking about rehoming pets and some of the reasons why we wind up rehoming them, good and bad. So, why don't we jump into this a little bit? Who looks ready to talk? Nicole, you look ready to talk. You look ready to say some
Okay.
things.
I'm
Um,
always ready to
what?
say something.
Absolutely. If you point to you, something's gonna come out of your mouth because that's what's gonna happen. But okay, so rehoming pets. What do you know about that in general? And have you ever had to do that?
Yeah, I have had to do that multiple times. It doesn't always sound good. I remember following a few breeders, and they would talk about rehoming their pets that they no longer wanted in their program, and I'm like, how do you put a dog out of your program? I don't understand. Why can't you just? But when you get to the real thick of things, you can't keep everybody. Um, and if you know that they have traits that you do not want passed down in your lines, you rehome them. You give them to someone, whether you do it for a fee or whether you just place them somewhere where they will be in the best care. You have to put them out of your program. It's time for them to move on because they do not serve the purpose. I have also had to rehome a pet who posed a liability for me. Um,
Mm,
he did not like anyone but me, no other dogs, no other. He was worse than Yoki, if you can imagine that.
whoa, yes.
Yeah. Um, so
So,
he posed a threat for me, a liability. And so I was able to rehome him to a guy living in Mississippi that has a lot of property. And he just wanted a dog to patrol the premises. I don't even know if he got attached to him. I just think he needed a guard dog. So yeah, and it can be a sad thing because you want to check up on them and make sure they're okay because that attachment is still there. But it's something that is very necessary that I had to kind of get over myself and say, okay, I I can't keep all of these 120 to 60-pound dogs
whew,
in here. It ain't safe
man,
mentally.
whew, yeah, like a
So
bull in the china shop.
yeah, yeah. Tony, what
Okay.
about you? Have you ever had to rehome a pet, or have you taken in a pet that was being rehomed.
Hmm.
So with that being said, saying it, because animals have come and stayed, and some have come and left. So there was one that came in. Actually, I won't say like the dog just came over, like I need a place to stay. No, the kids, like Amira for sure is definitely one to go find an animal and like it needs a home. But this dog particularly stayed here for a full year.
Mm.
A full year. So like
Oh.
I think she lived here. Yeah, she lived. And but when she came here, my intentions was not to keep her, longer than a week, longer than a month. And then I was like, okay, let's just get her vaccinated, because I had other dogs here, other animals that, have to make sure everybody's protected, right? With not just one, not bring something in. So I had her spayed and neutered. Had her spayed and neutered. I had her fixed at the clinic that I used to work for, and got her vaccines up to date. Kept her heartworm preventative up. And then in regards to rehoming her, I was looking for a family that could take care of her. That is hard work. Hard work looking
Yes.
for someone that you can trust, that is going to take care of the animal the way that you feel should be taken care of. And this goes for any animal, whether it be a fish, a gecko, but cat, a dog, because people use animals for different reasons. Um, and so I reached out to Richland Animal Rescue, and they helped me through the process. So
Oh.
basically, I was fostering her. And they did all the paperwork, and it actually became more of a donation to them, as a facility,
Oh.
because I had taken care of all her medical needs. She was up to date when when they found the new owner who came up
Right.
from Ohio. And, that's a great way to give back. I know sometimes rescues like look for fosters, but if you if yourself in a position, you're like, okay, look, this is the animal, these are the medical records, and you provide that to the rescue. This pet can stay here as long as he or she wants or needs to, until you find them a home. And I don't think it was that long after they put it into work. They take a series of pictures and get the information out there, because they have the platform to do what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was one pet animal that I had in my home, and it was sad, because she had lived here so long to say.
Yeah.
But when we met at Millen Park here in Kalamazoo, and the other dog that the family had, it was like it was meant to be. But
Oh.
yeah, so that's one of my more intimate rehomings that I can say that I've had.
Yeah.
UT.
Yeah. I've never had to um rehome my own pet. I will say that in general, another one of the main reasons why sometimes people have to rehome their pet is due to roughness with the with the
Yeah.
cheerings. A little rough with the cheerings. Everybody who knows Mayo by now would be like, there would be no way you would have thought about rehoming that little squirt. But when I first got her, I was actually extremely nervous with the way that she would react with children. If they made, quick moves, which children are wont to do, she would kind of go for their ankles and do the whole herding thing, right? When I
Yeah.
first got her, even though I knew that that was typical maybe of cattle dog, I didn't know that it was going to be like that. Like, a kid get up and it's like she would go right for the ankle, and she
Yeah,
still does it.
she did not make it.
I mean, not necessarily so much the kids. Like my
Right.
dad was here a couple of weeks ago, and anytime he comes in like, "Hey, Janera," and he's walks near me. And Miles like, "Oh God, this big guy ankles." I'm like, "Can't you smell that I'm of him? I mean, can't you
Yeah.
see that we're together?" Right? But So she was kind of a little bit close to maybe being rehomed there, because if I hadn't have gotten her back around to where, okay, we really figured out what was what, and she didn't go for her people more regularly, I was able to keep her and not have to rehome her. So yeah, but we here at Three Wise Pet Pros always have some unique takes on these topics, and I'm actually going to throw it right back to you, that take, Tony, because you said that you know about some situations or some, aspects concerning rehoming fish. What's the deal with that? Like, do people really do that? And if so, why?
So first, I want to say hello, Mr. Crazy Air Holmes. It
Hey,
did show up on
Robert.
Facebook. Thank you for joining us tonight. But when you think about fish, and you're like, why would someone rehome a fish? So Nicole and I both have cichlids, and cichlids
Yeah.
can be a tad bit aggressive.
Yes.
Uh, So, sometimes people will not take in the information that they need in regards to this fish can live with this fish and that fish can't stay with that fish, or even cichlids with cichlids. You put a
Yes.
smaller one in and then you have a bigger one in there. They be like, oh, no, you can't come up in here. Mm-mm. So that is one of the reasons that people may rehome a fish. That like I have a 55-gallon. My friend Paul Frazier, he has I think 150-gallon tank. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I want it. Um, so the more space that you have in an aquarium, but most people usually have a 55-gallon and or smaller in the average household. Like when I say the average household, unless you get like someone who just is going to take care of a fish tank, then you'll get into the bigger sizes. But the average households, like 10
Yeah.
gallon, 20, 40 gallons. But if you put them in too close of a vicinity, your new fish will become fish food. You'd be like, no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that is a scenario that we don't want to happen. Usually you can tell, in most cases, like the fish that is being the aggressor, you're kind of like, they, they have a stance about themselves. Just like if you had a dog, a fish can have a
Yeah.
stance too. They sit in the middle of the tank and shimmy they body and be like, I don't know what you're doing up in
Yeah.
here.
They do that shimmy. Like,
But it's about to go down if you don't. Yeah, and so if you
yes.
have enough hiding spaces, but or rehoming within your own home to another fish tank, so it doesn't
Yeah.
have to like you're
That's
taking
true.
it back to the fish store or to the pet store, or giving it away. It could be just rehoming it within your own home, providing it its own space in a new aquarium.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. That's similar to the reptiles too, because I know Robert Crazier Holmes that's on here would say that he's definitely shifted one maybe gecko from this tank to another because um, they didn't mesh well with another one, but it didn't have to
Yeah.
be rehomed to a whole new home. So that is awesome. Speaking of reptiles, I actually had an interesting situation happen too, where I was able to be a part of the rehoming process, and the animal was rehomed to my home, and that is a tortoise. And here she is. Her name is Torterra.
Hey, Tortilla, making all that noise over there.
I know. We like sometimes think somebody's in the house. You'd be like, oh yeah, Torterra. But Torterra, she was rehomed to me because, and this has to do with this one we talked about earlier, rehoming due to incompatibility with other pets, or maybe was attacked by another pet. Torterra was attacked by a dog. Wasn't trying to. I don't know. It wasn't, there's a hole where one of the teeth went, and this is like healed up. So you see that, and then you see also under here where he was bitten, and the
Oh
tip
yeah.
back and everything like that. So I mean, these tortoises, tortoise, These tortoises are really, really tough, and so it's great when, especially an animal like this, who you know can live for so long, to be able to shift from a place that could be potentially dangerous due to another pet
Yeah.
to, to us. Here she's coming out a little bit. Hey, Torterra. Hey, girl. Look at you. I need to trim those nails. Oh, oh, whoa,
Oh,
whoa. I need to hold those legs back. Oh, don't show anybody. I need to trim those
Right.
nails. Look at those nails. Ooh, I need to trim you up, girl. I'm definitely holding my hand under her little behind because, turtles and tortoises, they love to go poop while you're like holding them up and stuff.
oh wow.
So, anyway, Torterra is in a great new home now. I love turtles and tortoises, so it wasn't any hardship at all for me to get her in here, get her into her own enclosure, and give her a good life. So that was the tortoisey rehoming situation there. And let me see what banners I have. This is something else, that probably any of us could speak on or have seen, if not experienced ourselves, but just, you know, being, responsible enough to know when you don't have the resources for a pet or
Yeah.
you don't have what you need. Have you ever seen that, Nicole, or seen that with anybody else? No, not you, but
It could be me trying to feed four big dogs.
that's
Yeah.
true. No, that's
I think
true.
about it every day. I'm fixing their food. Like, whoa,
Oh, that's
they're
true. I
shipping
forgot.
the food again? No. Yeah, but I have seen some people who they were no longer able to care for them because they, especially these pandemic puppies
Mm-hmm.
and pets that people got during the pandemic. And once people started having to be away from home more, they were not able to care for the pets because they were out of the home and
Mm-hmm.
they needed to rehome them. So we did see a rise in animals being taken to shelters and people calling around, hey, do you know somebody who wants a I'm just wanting him to go to a good home. I can't take care of him. I'm back in the office full time.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So those
And then,
things
like,
do happen.
backyard kittens, I was thinking about. Sometimes I have several friends who are like, oh my God, can you come? And, with my service, we don't currently spay or neuter. So I try to help them shift them over to find somebody else. But then with the shortage of veterinarians, to say that, finding a vet that can do, kitten spays and neuters and stuff is a long, long line. And so then the kittens are just procreating again and again,
Yeah.
and that's really tough. That's why some people say adopt, don't shop, which again, we all are intermeshed with the breeding world in some way, shape, or form. So I know that we know that there's responsible breeding, just like there's responsible adoptions. But that's a big thing that all these extra animals is one of the reasons that people do say adopt, don't shop.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's already 10 billion extra animals out here. Like, let's get one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, and I think Nicole, you had already kind of spoke about that a little bit. Have you had to rehome because they were just at the end of their career, and not necessarily they weren't right for the program, but maybe just at the end of their career? Or is that typical?
Well, that is typical because I have only had one litter under my belt. We don't really consider this retiring her, but um, the litter that I did have, my friend was the owner of the dam, and so she was already an older female. She was
Okay.
5 years old, and so that was not really the best decision for us to breed her. She had some issues with the pregnancy. She had a prolapse, and which happens usually when the females are older. And so
Yeah.
our plan was not really to spay her, but because of the problems that she had, we just decided to go ahead and as she was, finishing up delivery, we went ahead and had her spayed. She's still alive and kicking and doing well, but we
Right.
can say that she's retired from her program. Yeah. So she
Sweet.
did. She had a very nice litter. All the dogs from the litter are well taken care of and doing really, really well. We are very happy about that, especially since that was our first litter. But we
Yeah.
get updates all the time. But yeah, so Miss Eve is retired. Yeah,
Woo, woo, woo.
yeah.
All right.
Tony,
Very
you
good.
got anything for us?
No, I do
And
not.
if not, you can take us out.
All right, all right. Well, it is.
Say
We
that
can't
again.
hear.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was. Miss Vet Tech Tony wasn't feeling 100 today, so and I don't have lip gloss.
That'll make me sad.
Oh man. So with that being said, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I used to definitely be just a spay and neuter, adopt. And as everyone knows, if you didn't know, like, yes, I bought Kaori, but I love her so much. I wouldn't change anything about that.
Yeah.
But my heart is still, out there and helping people. People ask me all the time, do you know where I can get this kind of dog? I definitely, in my career have met some breeders, but I also know, different rescues in the area that, and learn about different rescues all the time that specialize in specific breeds. So it's not really about, like, if you say you want, Adobe, there is Adobe. I'm sure I haven't found one of those yet. Rescue, so that
Oh
you
yeah.
can have the opportunity to meet, Adobe specific. Like, you don't have to like go to like the shelter or a place where there's like more than one animal, different kind of pet. You
Hmm.
can go to one where it's specifically just the dog that you're looking for. And yes, I probably could have done the same thing, but we're not going to talk about that. I fell in love
Yeah.
with Kaori and I got her. So, anyways, we just want to let you know that we support all pet lovers, pet owners, want to be able to help you make the best choice for your family based on your needs and what you're able to provide, so that when you bring that pet into your home, that you're bringing that pet into your home for long term, because that is definitely a big issue, like Tanera was saying, in regards to, children. Um, think about your family. Think about what you're going to be doing. If you don't have time to go walk a dog, then you probably don't need a big dog. You know,
Yeah.
some of these things are just kind of like common sense. If you don't have a big yard, you probably shouldn't get a big dog. Uh,
Yeah.
like, because just like when we have children or bring someone into our home, you want to be able to accommodate their needs. So, with that all being said, Three Wise Pet Pros wants to thank you for watching us. Like, share, and follow. And Miss Tanera, I see posted something on the top of our page. Yeah, you can go ahead and click on it. And Nicole and I approve of it. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
that was the link for my future veterinarian crowdfunding campaign. I knew the ladies
Okay.
wouldn't mind me sharing
Yeah.
that information,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I put that on the different links,
all
the
right.
different platforms. Yeah.
So we're gonna sign out. That was a good topic, ladies. Thank you. Um,
Yeah.
oh, and we are going to be going on every other week. Yeah,
Starting
just
now.
our busy lives. We may have some pop-up times that come up, but as of right now, it will be every other Tuesday. So this Tuesday, hello. Next, no. But we'll give you reminders. We're gonna get on our social media so that you can be aware of when we're going on. But we appreciate you for continuing to support us all. Three Wise
Yeah.
Pros signing out.
Signing out.
Peace.
Peace. It sounds slow.